429.
Within,
In there at any time, going within 48 hours notice. Or is that with 48 hours?
oh, with 48 hours
Okay.
notice.
Sorry, yeah, it's within 48 hours,
Yeah.
means less than, okay.
With 48 hours.
415. Oh, the names of the members present at the expiration of 30, it should say minutes at the end of
Right.
the very last words. There's a number 30 there, but it should actually say the word minutes. 418. Oh, it says you got to show hands. Can someone say yea or nay if they're virtual?
I changed, so I did actually change that just to show hands. That's consistent with what other municipalities are doing for electronic meetings.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure so that, because quite often Councillor Pickard, when he was away, would say yea or nay, and that was helpful to remind me that he's there. And, sometimes, hard to watch everybody's hand at once. Councillor Pickard, you want to comment?
The reason I say yea or nay is because when the province of Ontario approved virtual meetings, it said very specifically in there, you want to speak. Yeah, you can look that up and confirm it, but that's why I do it, because I thought I had to.
It was in our previous procedural bylaw that you said yes or no,
Yes.
but it can change.
Okay, and I've got 16.6 non-registered delegations. 16.6. Other delegations will be permitted from the gallery without prior registration only during the appropriate time of the public meeting pursuant to other acts or by resolution of the council or committee of council. Appropriate time at a public meeting, is that a meeting? Is that a regular council meeting or a public meeting under the planning act?
A public meeting under the Planning Act.
Okay, so pursuant to other acts, i.e. planning act, what you're really saying.
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's,
And 17.4. Oh, the second sentence here, the appointment shall take effect immediately, should be a capital one.
yes, okay.
Okay, all right, anything else on any of the bylaws? Seeing none, all those in favor of first and second reading? Opposed, that's carried, and third and final reading, and the moved by Bookner, second by Gillard. And the reading would be?
Resolve that bylaws 24, 2025 to 26, 2025 inclusive be read a third time, finally passed, and that the mayor and clerk are authorized to sign the bylaws and affix the corporate seal.
Any discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that's carried. New business. Clerk's report, CO 34.
So this came up yesterday. This is for the additional solar panels at the Beachville Fire Hall. So I did include the original report that went to council last summer. The amount that was quoted in there, I understand that it was based on the original quote that we received for the solar panels on the Beachville Fire Hall back when they were originally installed. Since then, we have found out that the work hadn't proceeded up until this point. So Daryl's been working with Argen to get an updated quote for the additional 8 solar panels, as well as move forward with getting them installed. However, when the quote came forward, we realized it's $1,250 more than what was originally quoted back when the solar panels went on the building. Council did approve that it be funded by the township's climate change reserve. However, it is slightly higher, so we are bringing it back to council for information as well as for an updated resolution to reflect the current amount. Argen is prepared to move forward with the installation within the next 2 weeks if council is supportive of the cost.
Okay, so just need a technical motion for financing from plan change reserve. Councillor Pickard, you want to say?
Yeah, I'll move. And I think some of the connection equipment is different, if I read the email correctly. So that also may have a factor in this as well.
Okay, and we have a seconder. Seconded by Thurston. Any questions or discussion, Councilor Gill?
Just a question, how this kind of got forgot from the 12th of June last year.
The answer would be,
I thought that it had been confirmed and another individual was working on it with them, but then once we contacted them directly, we found out that it had not.
and these are different, slightly different panel than the original panel.
Yes,
Yes.
they are.
Okay. Anything further on this? All those in favor? Forward, that's great. Okay, also under new business, couple things I was going to raise, Mary Ellen was mentioning there, noon or afternoon that, he's been to the employment,
Charter, yeah.
in Woodstock. I went on, Thursday afternoon about 4 o'clock.
You've not even done yet.
I know, that's what I probably should have come for a job already, but, anyways, that's up to her. Some people shouldn't retire, quite frankly, but, anyway, amazed at the number of people that were there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The place was just, and it was the Oxford Auditorium and the Fairgrounds building, the market, the whole area. It was just packed. Like, I couldn't believe the number of people that were there. I did try and get, Brad Hammond from Woodstock Economic Development to offer himself as a dummy for the Woodstock police to do their tasering. But he wouldn't do it. I don't know why. But anyways, really impressed, the quality and just the sheer number. They had, high school kids, 4,000 high school kids in the morning and early afternoon. And then at 4 o'clock, or from 3 to 6, was more of the public venue. And, glad to see like high schools and municipals, offices, but you name it, the businesses were there. Trying to encourage people, think about this sector, think about that sector, so that was really well done. As I was wandering around though, the, Oxford Child Care group happened to see me go by and came right out and were very excited and wanting to know when was the 88 spaces going to be available in Mount Elgin. And as you saw in the report, they're looking for 700 and some more childcare spaces in Oxford now. And I was surprised they didn't know who it was, but B, about how keen they were. So I said to them, I think one of our concerns might be, is there enough people out there to man these things? And they were sure there was. They didn't think it was a problem. And that's always kind of in the back of my mind and one of my larger concerns. So Councilor Becker.
Wrong one.
Sorry.
No, a secondary concern to that too is that if we go ahead and build this thing, are we going to be putting private operators out of work? Right, like private daycare operators within the community, and that's a kind of a secondary concern of mine as well.
So the demand far outstrips the supply, and the fact that they can't get people to, I think, basically offer buildings or facilities to use up that 728 spots. And there was 100 and some for schools and 600 and some for non-school. But anyways, and Tensford, I believe, is going ahead with another facility in the school there as well. So they'll use up some of those. Anyways, I was actually quite pleased that they were really quite active, and we've got to find more childcare spaces. This will not in any way absorb the demand that's out there. And the 728, I think it is what the feds have said we need as a minimum for whatever the bar they set. So the other thing, public health on Thursday, again, measles keeps right on rolling, and the vaccine that we've used since the 60s is still the same vaccine. It has virtually no side effects. Way less than 1% of the people would have any kind of negative, impact from it, so encouraging people, if you haven't got a vaccine, or you didn't have it as a child, or your children don't have it, for whom sakes, go and get it done. The other one, I wanted to talk about for just a minute was, this morning I asked ProWin what they thought were the critical issues. And, just wanting, what I've got down here is I had a couple of them over. And the reason I do that is today, I want council to base on science rather than on rhetoric, whatever they decide. But I heard, property values, I had health, bird mortality, farmland use, street voltage, noise, recycling. I'd asked about ice discharge and, visual impacts. And, my understanding is that staff will look for some kind of, background information for us to provide accurate rather than public opinion information to base our decisions on, whatever they do. I don't know, just any comments from council? Go ahead, Councilor.
Well, I thought there was a presentation talking about peer reviewed data, be quite helpful that way. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a government source, but it does need to be verified by more than one individual in order to be credible and be used as information.
I guess that's what I want is accurate information. I'm probably less concerned about where it comes from, but, if you wind turbine hazards, there were, 30,000, sites come up in the first 3 seconds, right? But then if you Google anything else, you get the same, and that's where, you have some on both sides. I just want to know what the truth is and then what's from there, so. Anyways, Councilor Pickard.
I'd like some speaking notes to how to deal with visual impact. What he said was, useless.
Look the other way.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But it's a reality, right? Like
Well,
some
that's
people
why
like
they
it,
make
some
up
people
the
don't.
other stuff, because they don't, nobody wants it in their backyard.
So
So they-
anyways, my hope here was that the staff would hear, we need to have some kind of, evidence for decision making rather than, simply waiting until people show up and are yelling and screaming because, the world is gonna end if, one more wind tower comes in or they're gonna get blown away or whatever it's gonna happen to them, so.
I don't know how we could do is the visual side of it.
There's no good answer for it.
No. If you're just driving down the road, they are majestic, but if it's in your backyard and there's 10 of them within a mile or 2 miles, then it becomes too much.
Well, you drive through Kent County on the 401.
I know,
Heck, God.
up Shelburne area, same thing.
Okay, that's all I had for, new business. Any other new business? Seeing none, then closed session, so council roundtable. Let's start with Ward 4.
Fall board meeting tonight in Coolman's at 7 o'clock. Saturday morning, I have the AGM meeting for Harris Street, West Rockford Cemetery at 10 a.m. If you haven't got anything to do on a Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, show up at the mayor's house and have a fun time.
Come for pancakes,
What's that?
come for pancakes.
Before or after?
We'll have that for you, Jennifer.
Huh?
Next Wednesday night is Beachville District Museum meeting. On the 12th, we have breakfast with the boards at Southwood at 9:30. Is there anyone speaking or what's going on here? Well, I'll get asked that tonight at the all board meeting.
Speaking?
Yes,
We have a guest speaker?
yeah, we have, is it the separate, is it
Yes, the farmerettes.
the farmerettes? There's a presentation at the.
So Bonnie Sitter. Bonnie Sitter.
Bonnie Sitter, she wrote our book and is producing now, movie about the Ontario farmerettes.
Okay. All right, okay, that's good. The end of the month on the 27th in Fulton's, we're having our annual, breakfast in conjunction with the Lions Club from Schweberg on the 27th, so. And that's about it for now.
Okay, and Ward 1.
Ward one, had a nice holiday. Sorry I missed the last meeting, but, it's hard to work around everything. We had our, fall board meeting on the Tuesday before I left, our AGM, and the board is virtually unchanged. So we're still hoping we can find a few more people, but it's hard to get people to commit time for, public works anymore. We have our next meeting, a week from tomorrow. And, CCA is April 10th. And, we also had, one more new, memorial bench donated for the gazebo, just dropped off, yesterday. And, it was for, Art Ruckle, or Art Pratt, who was a longtime member of the community living on, Keswick Road. So, by his, children. Which is, now we just got 4 or 5 more to go.
And Ward 6.
Ward 6, obviously George mentioned the museum board meeting next week. Parks and Rec is preparing for our Easter egg hunt on the 19th at noon at the museum. Getting some donations moving forward the last couple of days, and it's been great to see community uptake in that event, and then always there's a great turnout. So work is underway for that moving forward.
Good. Did you get anything from her?
Yes.
Okay, good, good stuff. And Ward 3.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Selford Hall meeting tonight. And at the meeting, we're going to discuss the roast beef supper that's being held on May 10th. And it's going to be an eat-in or take-out tickets, $25. And then the Engage and Informed Committee meeting is tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And we'll be discussing Earth Day, because it's happening on April the 26th. And that's in conjunction, of course, with Reusapalooza at Sweetburg. Act on Litter Day is also in April. It's April 20, I think 4th, I'm not sure. No, I think I'm wrong there, but it's at the end of April.
April 29th.
Is it April 29th? Thank you. I didn't mark down that last figure. It's on Hawkins Road, and we're meeting there from 1 to 2 p.m. Hilltop Park. We're having the Easter egg hunt on April the 19th. That's Saturday. Be there at 10 o'clock if you're interested in attending. Hilltop Park. They're also putting in volleyball net, and the committee's meeting at the park to figure out a location for those nets. So that's it for our.
And Ward 2.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not a lot happening in Ward 2 right at the moment. Mount Loving Hall Board met last Monday evening. Nothing really to note there. LKRCA meets tomorrow evening. We're going to be meeting at Bacchus Mill because the offices in Tillsonburg are under renovation at this point in time. And so we're going to get a tour of the newly renovated visitor center at Bacchus. And so that'll be interesting. Looking forward to that. And then the Parks and Rec Committee, such as it is, the Tillsonburg Minor Ball is going to rent the diamond again this year, so we're very pleased about that. One question I had, I was out to check the condition of the diamond last night because they are hoping to start using it like immediately. And there's a couple of survey stakes that are in the outfield there, and I just wonder if they can be removed or not. Because, yeah, that land is not to be transferred for some time yet, or at least not from its current use. And we can't leave those stakes in place and have people playing ball with it. And I think that's about it in Ward 2.
And Ward 5.
Well, things are waking up a bit in Ward 5. The Lions are doing their pancake breakfast Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. If you're in the area for a meeting, you might come by. This is our fourth one. And they've been very, very successful, huge crowds. Parks and Rec has a meeting on April 15th. Soil has been delivered, for the upgrade of the ball diamond in Sweetburg. It was delivered before the half road was, so that was a good thing. Work on the Peace Park and trying to clean up the trail, that started yesterday. Minor ball registration has been completed. There was, we have a lot of kids again this year. So things are, as I said, things are kind of waking up this week. Report.
Okay, thank you. The only other thing I was gonna mention, town council, acknowledged the Rosses on, Bud Line. Former Bill Meat Farm back, for the, annual land stewardship award this year. So, we'll send them a thank you letter, or congratulations on it. And, award meets to us. And, for, tree planting, there was 3 good applications that they dropped over, and, they were winners, so. Nice to see somebody in social officer getting knowledge out of it. Other than that, I didn't have anything else, confirmation bylaw then, are we ready for that? Okay, move on to second for the confirmation, right, moved by, give us second by Brookhampton. We go,
2025, being about to confirm the proceedings of council held Tuesday, April 1st, 5-year and first and third time this first day of April, and that the mayor and clerk are authorized to sign the bylaw and fix the corporate sale.
any discussion? All those in favor? All that's carried. And, then a motion to adjourn. Moved by Joe, second by, those, we know, for the business council meeting be adjourned at 1:26 p.m. to meet again on Tuesday, April 15th, 2025 at 6:30. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? That's carried.